Candidates in the Bali Gubernatorial Election share promises for tourism development. And when haven't politicians anywhere in the world made promises when they're going to get elected or hope they're going to get elected? And uninhabitable houses in Bali reach more than 54,000. Wow. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Welcome to the latest news from Bali and Indonesia. This is October 28th, 2024, and my name is Bruce. And what's the weather like today? Hot. Wow, it is really hot. 31.4 degrees Celsius, and the humidity is 71%. Wind speed is 8.4 kilometers per hour. And, well, it's another nice day, but hot and dry. So, still in the dry season up here in Buleleng. Well, in Singaraja at least. Buleleng is a big regency. And lots of stuff to do today. And I do have my new computer, and so we're going to see how this works. So let's get right into it. Various promises of Mulia-PAS and Koster-Giri regarding Bali tourism development. Two candidate pairs competing in the 2024 Bali Gubernatorial Election competed in ideas related to tourism development on the island of the gods. Both candidate pairs revealed promises relating to tourism policies at the hearing Where Should Bali Tourism Be Taken event held by the Indonesian Tourism Association Bali in Badung. This was on Friday. The event was held in two sessions. The first session presented candidate pair number one, Mulia-PAS, that's their names combined together, and the second session was attended by candidate pair number two, Koster-Giri, and, well, the former governor. And here is the review. According to Mulia-PAS, prepares budget for MICE. They will intensify MICE tourism or meeting incentive conferences and exhibitions if they win the gubernatorial election. Promise to provide a budget for buildings used for MICE. Not only activating it, we will also provide the budget for the building. We will prove it later, after they get elected, of course, if they get elected. According to him, the increase in MICE tourism requires qualified human resources. He then revealed a number of efforts to improve the quality of education in order to improve quality tourism HR in Bali. How is he going to improve the quality of education? Free high school scholarships for college. Of course, good human resources show resilience, he said. Pak Putu Agus added that MICE tourism can be held in the low season. MICE tourism is referred to in both national and international scopes. Of course, we will announce it in the low season so that the low season can be filled with national and international events. And they are going to create a Bali Mulia application. This application is made to monitor tourists. Yes, they're going to be watching you. We will decide the name of the application later. For now, it's called Bali Mulia. He said that the application was created because of the many tourism problems on the island of the gods. One of the causes is the behavior of tourists. Right. The Bali Mulia application is integrated, starting with immigration, the Bali provincial government, and tourism associations. The application was created to facilitate supervision of tourists. We are watching you. In addition to being able to monitor tourists, the Bali Mulia application also contains do's and don'ts for tourists, still the do's and don'ts, during their visit to Bali, including the amount of their entrance fees. Well, that would be helpful. So before flying to Bali, there's an application. They use a barcode. They already know how much they have to pay and what the do's and don'ts are when they come to Bali. Okay, so do's and don'ts still. And, well, most people do and some people don't. Most people do behave and some people don't behave. Is this going to work? I don't know. Who knows how these things work? But based on the past practices, it's problematic. And what about the former governor and his teammate? What are they promising? Koster promises to eradicate unemployment in Bali. Bali gubernatorial candidate number two, Warren Koster, promised to eradicate poverty if re-elected as governor. He said the open unemployment rate in Bali at this point is 2.69%. That makes Bali the third lowest in Indonesia in terms of unemployment. However, he claimed that the achievements in Bali were more brilliant in 2019. At that time, Bali was the province with the lowest open employment rate in Indonesia. He said, back in 2019, we had a much better number, but we have not recovered fully from COVID yet. In my second term, I am going to make unemployment zero. In addition, he also revealed improvements in several sectors. For example, Bali's macroeconomic conditions have been increasing since the COVID period ended. In 2023, economic growth in Bali, 5.71%. In 2019, Bali's economic growth was 5.6%. In fact, Bali's economic growth is exceeding the national economic growth. Pak Koster said the poverty rate in Bali is 4.25%. That makes Bali occupy the first position for the lowest poverty rate in Indonesia. Likewise, regarding the gap is 0.362. This is lower than the national figure of 0.388, which means that income in Bali is increasingly evenly distributed. He said, don't think that Bali is in a bad condition. There are bad things and there are also good things. And the Koster-Giri team are preparing 100 billion for tourism promotion. The deputy gubernatorial candidate revealed that the duo will prepare hundreds of billions of rupiahs to promote Bali tourism abroad. 100 billion to promote tourism abroad. How about using that to fix the sidewalks, do something about the trash, do something about the traffic? When we carry out tourism promotion, we ask that in the future, tourism people must be leaders. We will prepare at least 100 billion to carry out promotion abroad. To facilitate promotion, Giri Prasta also asked tourism people to create sales nations in several countries and ambassadors. Several countries that are often mentioned to visit Bali: Australia, India, and China. He said, please create a sales mission. We will calculate, let's say the most to Bali, Australia, second is India, third is China. Additionally, plans to coordinate with the airport and open up new direct flights from countries to Bali. He also plans to make a number of improvements. He emphasized that efforts to advance tourism in Bali are still based on strict law enforcement. We, of course, are on the side of law enforcement. We are on the side of law enforcement and regulations. Who isn't? So, some more promises before the election. Will they come true? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Okay, and next, what about uninhabitable housing? Fantastic. Uninhabitable houses in Bali reached more than 54,000 in 2023. Here's what the PUPR service says. Behind the glittering tourism on the island of the gods, who would have thought that the level of uninhabitable housing, RTLH, in Bali would reach more than 54,000 in 2023. Based on data from Bali Public Works and Public Housing, that's PUPR, there are 54,750 uninhabitable houses in Bali. Explained in detail, the most uninhabitable housing is in Buleleng, 20,149, Kaliasem, 8,805, Gianyar, 7,594, Bangli, 6,278, Jembrana, 3,952, Klungkung, 3,850, Tabanan, 3,113, Badung, 694, Denpasar, 135. Think there's some unequal distribution on uninhabitable housing in Bali? Just like income. So, despite what Pak Koster says, is income evenly distributed around the island? We know that it's not. The category of uninhabitable housing was explained by Mada because they were not suitable in terms of roofs, floors, or walls, abbreviated as Aladdin. The problem still occurs in Bali behind the glittering progress of tourism. The Aladdin category does not meet the requirements of a decent roof, house, floor, walls. On the other hand, in poverty alleviation and also helping people who do not have a decent house, the acting governor implemented the spirit of mutual cooperation, everybody helping. Like the National Zakat Agency, Basnas, of Bali province, they helped renovate 25 uninhabitable houses in Bali. Their habitable house program is a central program for them. Basnas Bali has become an extension of Central Basnas in Indonesia. This assistance is intended for all people, not only Muslims, because Basnas is intended for all people. This home renovation assistance targets Kaliasem, Buleleng, and Bali regencies. The severe conditions of houses that come in to be helped are those with rotten wood or houses that look like they're going to collapse. And I've seen a number of them up here in Buleleng. We've got a few here in the city, well, more than a few, and out in the villages, we've got even more. So, uninhabitable houses, and right now, with the price of accommodation going up and up for Balinese and other Indonesians who are working here, especially in the tourism industry, if we could fix these houses, that would be great, and provide some more housing for the young people who are just starting families and trying to save some money. So housing is a big issue for them. And let's go over to Lombok because, well, my wife should just be arriving in Lombok right now on her way back to Sumbawa, where we lived for 6 years. Lombok Airport achieves Best Airport Services Predicate. Wow! Lombok Airport has been named as an airport with the best service based on Customer Satisfaction Index CSI 2024 in a survey conducted by the Indonesian National Air Carriers Association. 5 other airports managed by PT Angkasa Pura or in Journey Airports have also achieved the Best Airport Service Predicate. The airports include Soekarno-Hatta, the airport in Jogja, in Pekanbaru, in Tanjung Pinang, and wow, Frans Kaisiepo in Biak. I've been in that airport many times. Want to go to someplace cool? Go to Biak. I love Biak. This award is a recognition from stakeholders for the service standards at Lombok Airport. This will definitely further encourage us to continually strengthen our commitment to provide the best service at the airport, according to the General Manager of PT Angkasa Pura Indonesia at Lombok Airport. The award is recognition of the airport's service performance as measured by the Customer Satisfaction Index, CSI. The assessment is held annually. Lombok Airport successfully achieved a score of 4.85 on a scale of 1 to 5. The CSI assessment is conducted by surveying 5 groups of airport stakeholders: passengers, flight attendants, airlines, airport business partners, and cargo and logistics operators. In addition to measuring the CSI, the assessment also aims to gather information, feedback, and complaints from service users, which will then be used as a basis for improving and enhancing airport services. And here's a follow-up on a story I talked about, 5-6 videos ago. The revetment that encroached on Kaliasem Beach was finally dismantled after being reported by the public, who felt disturbed and obstructed when crossing the beach. Even after a communication process was carried out, the embankment building in Kaliasem village was said to be outside the ownership certificate of the entrepreneur, who finally dismantled it. The head of Buleleng Regency Satpol PP explained that the dismantling was carried out directly by the owner the past Tuesday, so 6 days ago, after a recommendation letter came from Satpol PP. In the letter, the embankment, which was built in stages since 2017 with a height of about 1 meter jutting out into the beach, was declared to violate spatial planning regulation and is considered to endanger people's safety. So it was recommended to be dismantled immediately. And Satpol PP said they thank the owner, the entrepreneur, for resolving the matter. After the demolition, his party also asked the public to participate and let them know if they found any more problems in the field, because then there would be a field review for a follow-up. Because of the length of Buleleng Beach, the party cannot be maximized. The party's efforts cannot be maximized. Therefore, the importance of information or complaints from the public. Meanwhile, it was mentioned about the report of alleged annexation of the beach in the Denpasar village area. The status is still processing the permit. And moreover, after being evaluated, the building was deemed not to endanger people's safety, so his party recommended that the business owners seek permits so that it was legally constructed. Because here you construct things and then you get permission afterwards. We suggest seeking permission so that the building is legally okay. You just have to get used to this here. I don't know. I'm in a good mood today. I've got a new computer. It's nice. My granddaughter and I are here by ourselves for the week, and so I'm taking care of animals, my granddaughter, the house, all sorts of stuff. Busy, 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 but I don't know. I feel really good anyway. Okay, let's get on to another story, and this is the last one, I think. Gajah Mada Denpasar Tourism will rebrand from City Tour to Old Town Tour. The Old Town tourist area on Jalan Gajah Mada in Denpasar plans to be rebranded from City Tour to Old Town Tour. This rebranding will be carried out by the Denpasar City Tourism Office, DISPAR. The city is sometimes associated with being very modern. What we want for tourists is to come to the old city so that by going to the old city, they can get an idea of the heritage of the area. The plan to change the brand of the Old Town tourist area on Jalan Gajah Mada was carried out after the Denpasar Tourism Office received input from Denpasar Regional Tourism Promotion Agency, the Association of Indonesian Tour and Travel Agencies, and HTI Bali. In addition to rebranding, the DISPAR in Denpasar will also develop culinary and traditional markets in the Old City tourist area. Kumbasari Market is planned to become a souvenir market, and there's a coffee shop inside too. Whoa! Not only that, but DISPAR will also continue the Dokar tour in the Old City tour of Jalan Gajah Mada. The free Dokar tour will be continued in 2025 with better development. Free Dokar tours are also an effort to introduce traditional transportation to tourists, to children. This can be enjoyed every Saturday and Sunday. We have equipped it with QR codes and audio that can explain about the heritage of the places that are passed on this tour, on the Dokars. And I imagine there are going to be a number of foreigners that are going to complain about using Dokars. Dokars are still commonly used up here in Singaraja. These various things are done as an effort so that the tourist area remains competitive in quality, but also there's a generative element. According to a spokesperson, the generative element can be more sustainable, and it's hoped that there are positive values obtained by tourists who do these tours of the old area. According to the spokesperson, not only foreign tourists are interested in the old city of Denpasar, but also local tourists. She hopes that with the continuation of this tour in 2025, the community can better understand the cultural and traditional values of Bali and maintain their heritage. We hope that Denpasar City will be like our slogan so far, my city, my home. It can become a livable city, a lovable city, a walkable city. What? A walkable city? A walkable city? I told this to one of my son-in-laws the other day, who lives down there, and I lived in Denpasar for, 5 months, and I'm a walker, and well, there were no sidewalks to walk on where I lived. It was just rubble, and when I told him, one of my son-in-laws, he laughed as well and said, what sidewalks? But hey, put the sidewalks in. One of the best ways to discover a city is by walking around in it. And wherever I go, well, back in the past when I used to travel a lot internationally, the first thing I did after checking in and having a drink was to get out and walk around. And the old city in Denpasar is very, very cool. Well, I remember it from 35 years ago, still very cool. Get out of Canggu, get out of Ubud, get out of Uluwatu, get into some of the old areas, see what Bali was like in the past, experience what life is really like outside of those tourist bubbles and the cute little cups of coffee and all of the little pastries and snacks that are so popular in those areas. Okay, that was my little rant about that. And that is it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care. And I will see you next time.